Hi there, I'm Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars.
Your eyes are so... And I'm his brother.
I'm Kevin Manno from Q101. Do the night show on Q101.
I do afternoons. My name is Tim Virginski. Virgin for short.
Okay, first question, Kevin.
So
I'm ready.
What was your first experience with 30 Seconds to Mars like?
My first experience with 30 Seconds to Mars, I don't know how many years ago this was. This might have been 5 or 6 years ago at this point. Probably after they put out their first record. I wish I knew more of the history. But they played a Q101 block party. We used to do, it was like a couple years where we did the summer show called Block Party. And I didn't even know that they were going to be there or that Jared Leto was in this band. I mean, I knew him from being an actor, obviously, and I was like, oh, wow, he's in this band. And I went and I watched them, and they were great. I was interning at Q101 at the time, so after their set, wiggled my way to go chat with him, and I was a young dude at the time. I was in college. I mean, you know, you think that all these bands get annoyed with the youngins, but Jared could not have been cooler to me. I thought their set was great, and then I talked to him for like 10 minutes afterwards just about music and the band, and from that day on, I was a fan of that band because he made time for me, and we had a legit conversation. It was very cool.
Did you ever judge his music career, like, based off his acting? You know how, like, a lot of people...
No, because I do this, we're in the music industry, like, I don't think about it that way. I just think that others will. You know what I mean? It's probably difficult for an actor to break into this because people do that sort of stuff all the time and they do it unsuccessfully. So I think it's a little more difficult maybe for someone that's an established actor to get into music. And
I think it's harder for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's you know what? I did, actually, at first. I kind of judged. Yeah. I think you do that at the beginning. You're like, all right, this is a guy that uses his, abilities to go from one side to the other. Can he really do it? And I'll never forget seeing them for the first time and being like, didn't even know it was him. I didn't even know. Did you?
I knew. I think people told me.
I think people told me like during it, and I was like, really? And then you find out that wow, he is actually talented.
You know what though? For me. When I saw him that first time, I had you're going to make fun of me, but my girlfriend at the time and I just got on a real big My So-Called Life kick. We had just watched all the DVDs. So I was like, oh my God, that's Jordan Catalano.
It's so funny walking down the street with him here the other day when he was here, or a few weeks back, whatever it was.
It feels like yesterday.
A girl stopped and said, Jordan Catalano.
I'm sure
he still gets it all the time.
Doesn't that piss him off a little bit?
No, I don't think so. You know what? He's so nice.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you're in his situation, you have to do what you have to do. And let me tell you something. As a businessman, as someone who markets a band, I think he's probably the best in the business that keeps up with.
He never stops. He does everything. He takes care of every little detail of that band.
Literally calling radio, calling the guys, music directors, making it like a lot of these guys. You can't even get him on the phone. He knows everybody in radio because it's his band and he's got to invest in it. And I think him and his brother are like the best at marketing that band, better than any band that I've seen in the past few years.
Whatever the word for the opposite of lazy is, that applies to him.
He is nonstop on the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
And it's like a world one, too. So he could be in Paris, and he's like literally texting me like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But he's also I found out that he also does it to other people. So it's not so special anymore, Leto. Thanks, dick.
So Tim, being one of Jared's personal friends, how has it affected your life?
See, I don't know if he's his personal friend. I think that he just is close to the guys that he knows that are in radio that can actually, hopefully, I think we can make a difference for his record. And I think that, he's got a great working relationship with people. But you know what? I've known him for a while. I mean, when you always see each other in different cities, and I've worked in different places, you kind of, it's not like your best buds, but you get a relationship going, and that's what happens. And I think, I could be honest with him, and he'll definitely be honest with us.
Creatively, how do you think 30 Seconds to Mars measure up as far as videos going compared to other bands? Do you think some of the videos are innovative?
I think that's what it is.
The videos thing? That band, their videos are head and shoulders above other bands, and I don't know if that's because he comes from a world of film, but that seems to be very important to him.
I would really think so. Yeah, and look, he's not that kind of guy that does those roles and stuff when he does do movies that it's like he's got to have the great. He does like those underground movies and stuff like that. And he's really he's an artistic guy. I mean, that's what he is. And those videos, like Mr. Manno said, are way ahead.
And even the stage show. I mean, you can tell that I feel bad keep saying he, but they put so much into every aspect of everything, whether it be the music or the artwork for the album or the stage show or the videos. They just want it to look as good as it sounds, and they achieve that.
They're conceptually above a lot of others. There's no doubt. I mean, look, when they were here doing our Christmas show, like, he literally would get off stage during sound check and walk around the room of the House of Blues, just hearing what it would sound like. I mean, how many bands do that? They go up, they do sound check, they're out. He was so obsessed with how the drums sounded and things sounded.
It's like, does he have OCD or something?
He's at OCD.
Is there
There's no doubt he has OCD in such a way.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like scrubbing his hands and stuff, but I think his mind is scrubbing ideas constantly.
That's good.
That was really good.
Thanks.
30's fan base. How do you think the Echelon measure up to other bands' fan base?
Can I ask you where the name The Echelon came from?
Well, there's a song on their self-titled track that's called Echelon, and I think they just kind of took that word because it has a lot of different meanings. It can mean like an army. Jared says something about it meaning like
He's
a
big
social
on the
circle.
Army thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we were soldiers marching and part of the Echelon, and so that's how I look at it.
So yeah, that's how the name
From
came.
our point of view, love the Echelon, but you're relentless. Phone calls and texts and stuff, it's like enough already. The Echelon is crazier than any other fan base in the world. They're nuts. You guys are insane.
But I think he drives that. I think he really, between Twittering and keeping his fans informed, he's probably the best at that. And it, like, stirs it up.
Yeah. It's a good... I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, it's his fault. It's definitely his fault.
It's definitely his fault.
Yeah.
He created a monster.
He is like a cult figure at this
So,
point.
with the fans, have you guys had any personal, insane experiences?
One time these three girls came in to videotape us while I was
Unbelievable.
on the air.
She's like, we have to talk to you for a documentary.
We're talking about you.
Or that one time there was that group of fans I was standing outside the studio during Jared's takeover.
We'll get a lot of bands in here, and you talk to them on the air for a while, and you'll attract a few people. They're like, oh, I got to get over to the merchandise mart and hang outside of the Q101 studio, and you'll see a few people out there. When Jared was in here, I mean, there was almost 50 people out there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
crazy
lot.
because we don't usually give a heads up. Or we'll like record it and throw you guys off sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you'll be outside. But no, he got a good fam. And he's very good at being inconspicuous. Like when he showed up here, if you watch the video of how the pink mohawk, like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you being serious? That's inconspicuous?
I'm being sarcastic.
Well, that was sarcasm.
Can we be honest? We weren't here for Jared. We were here for you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's about time.
Appreciate it.
Well, this documentary is taking a turn for the better.
How do you think? I know both of you worked in many markets.
No,
Q101.
Not him.
Right.
Well, Tim,
He's been lucky
you
I
have.
have. Yeah.
Q101 is the only station in Chicago that plays 30. What can we do to change that, or how does you think Chicago alternative?
I don't think it matters because I think Q101 is the only station that matters.
So
we
don't want to change that.
Yeah, we don't want to have anybody else play that.
You shouldn't listen to any other stations. We play the good stuff.
Yeah,
no one else does.
Thank
you. But yeah, so that's a question we can't answer.
Well, the alternative market scene in Chicago, do you think it could be better, or?
I think we reach enough people. I think everybody's good.
How do you think the Chicago?
Plus, I think people get music from other places besides us.
Right.
I mean, it's a different world now. It's a different realm with the web and stuff like that, and where you can just find music.
And they own the web. They've got that taken care of.
Yeah, they own the web, so that's pretty good. I think they're at pretty much a good thing right now.
So, how do you think the Chicago alternative music scene differs from other cities? Because you've worked in
I mean, it depends on where you're at. I've worked in New York City. I've worked in Chicago, of course, before, and then I was in Phoenix. And I was in Los Angeles. I've been a lot of different places. St. Louis. I mean, it's a different thing everywhere you go. Look, 30 Seconds to Mars is a band that can reach coast to coast. Usually, it's not like you do the West Coast punk scene, and that's like Rancids and stuff like that. Kind of hang more on the left coasts, and then your Disturbs and stuff from the Midwest own that, and then your East Coast are like Gaslight. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that like different places have different things. So I think Chicago is a mixture of East Coast, West Coast, and we have our own thing. We get away with a lot more in Chicago than a lot of like the West Coast stations do, and a lot of East Coast. In New York, they don't even have a rock station anymore.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Is that true?
It's true. No K-Rock, no nothing.
Wow.
So that sucks for Manhattan. If you think about it, that's New York City.
Yeah.
They don't have a rock radio station. So I mean, there you go. And that's Q101 has always been, just that logo is so important to people in this city. And it's an honor for us to be here.
It is. It's actually like, I didn't start listening to music until I started listening to Q101.
That's how I was. Grew up around here, and Q101 got me into music. Before that, it was like Fraggle Rock, and that's entirely different.
Oh, I love that.
Kevin, could you say a personal message to the band, but could you include like Chicago references?
Like just rep Chicago in your message, pretty much. I mean, say whatever you want.
Shout out to Chicago, but something personal you would like to say to the band.
To the band?
Yeah.
Hi, 30 Seconds to Mars. I speak on behalf of all of Chicago, and I say that we love you. Chicago really does love 30 Seconds to Mars. I've known that for years, and I think that the band loves Chicago just as much. I know last time they were here, what did they do? They went like kayaking and stuff. So anytime you guys want to come back, we've got an endless amount of things to do for you.
Yeah, and he also has an extra room.
I do have an extra room. I have an extra bedroom,
That's
and I have a
crazy
couch,
and a pull-out,
so I can fit them all.
So there you go. And I know Jared likes Mr. Beef. So that's absolutely
is that code
not true.
for something?
No, that's not true. He doesn't like meat.
No, but we love you
He's
guys.
very gluten-free and stuff like that.
Yeah, when we came in the studio, he was all talking about Whole Foods. I was like, oh, that's so typical.
There you go.
Like, oh, Timmy.
Stop that.
Last time, here's my message, I guess. Last time 30 Seconds to Mars played Chicago, you guys played the Aragon, and it was Jared's idea for me to come out and do the thing like, ladies and gentlemen, 30 Seconds to Mars. And normally bands don't care about, they're like, okay, yeah, do it, but do it 5 minutes before we hit the stage. He worked me into the show. It was Jared's idea. He put me up in an opera box with a spotlight on me, and as soon as I said 30 Seconds to Mars, the curtain drops and stuff starts. So thank you very much for working me into your set. I know how important that is to you, and to trust me with that sort of responsibility is huge. I appreciate it. All of you.
Because didn't you ditch the show to go to Coachella, Tim?
Yes, I had to go to Coachella. How dare you? He knew that, though. Read the tweets. You'll see. I'm sure there's tweets from that, too.
Look at this.
What's your personal message you'd like to say, Tim?
What? Oh, my personal message? Yeah. Dear 30 Seconds to Mars, I love you so. Thank you for being a part of the Chicago scene. Look, we love you guys, and you guys know you're always welcome in this city, and just by the fan base. And walking through the streets with you, Jared, and knowing how much you love the architecture in this city.
Chicago's got great architecture.
It's no, it is. I mean, it's true. It's so funny. We walked down the street one day, and all he would do is stop on this bridge over here outside the merchandise mart and just take iPhone pictures because he thought it was awesome. Yeah. And he'll just post them now.
He does, randomly.
Like, randomly, and we're like, are you in Chicago and not telling us?
Right, he'll be in Europe.
Dick.
Yeah.
So there you go. We love you and thank you for what you've given to us.
Look at this, though. I have to get up because if you look at our touch screen system, I'm on
really
the air
weird.
right
This
now.
is a great way to end it.
I have to go over there and play 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yay,
This is
right.
See you later.
Thank you, guys. Mwah.
Thank you.